Yo, what up, everyone? Live with Coach RT3. This is episode 2 of season 2, and today we have Bernadette Henry. Bernadette caught my attention earlier this year, or maybe a few months ago, actually, as she was skipping rope. She's got an organization called Make It Fun NYC, and I just thought it was really, really interesting. And I thought she was really, really interesting, and she's connected to a lot of my East Coast friends. And so I just really wanted to get an opportunity to chat with her and expose her to all of you, because I think she's doing some really cool stuff out in New York. Hey.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good. Can't complain. Can't complain.
It's nice to finally be able to meet you, even though not in
Yeah.
person.
Same
Uh,
here.
it's really awesome because the first time I saw anything that you were in, it was with Quincy, and
Yes.
you guys were doing some skipping rope together.
Yes.
And I was looking at that video, I was like, oh, that's dope. And so I started checking out your page, and I was like, oh man, she is dope. I was like, this woman is incredible on the jump ropes. And I have another friend who's really into jump ropes, who's done some steel mace stuff with me as well. Anisha, also goes by
Yes,
Sunny.
funny.
So when I saw you, I was like, oh man, like I really got to talk to you, because I was just looking at Make It Fun NYC, and I was like, that just seems like a really cool concept. And so I kind of wanted to know how that even came about in your history, and how did you get from childhood to where you're at today?
All right, well, basically, as you all know, I'm African American, black, whatever. And I grew up in New York City in like the 80s. And in the 80s, what we did all the time was we played double dutch and we played like single rope games. So like two people turn the rope, we all turn it, go in, two on time, don't be late, and just so many other different games. So that was big. Like in the summer times, you can walk down the street, you see some people playing double dutch, you be like, okay, I'll turn for some jumps. So that was always like a thing throughout my childhood. And single rope, I don't really remember the exact time I was introduced to it, but somehow I was introduced to it and I was intrigued by it. So then I became a self-taught jumper. So my earliest memories go back to like the sixth grade when I was jumping. I remember I borrowed a book from the library about jump rope, and it kind of had like all them crazy tricks in there that some of them I still can't do. But what I did is I taught myself like the basics, like the double unders, the crossovers. And I remember I used to go outside with the double unders. I used to go boom, boom, and fall right flat on the floor. And my mother used to be like, stop, yelling out the window, like, stop, stop, stop. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to get this. So those are like my earliest memories of jump rope. And then like my next memory goes to junior high school when it was some random competition, and it was to see how many jumps you can do in a minute. And like I did like 240 jumps in a minute and won first place. And I was like, okay, this is cool. So I guess that was all I remember from like childhood and like teenagerhood. So
Mm-hmm.
then, at 19 years old, me and my friend happened to be downtown in Union Square hanging out, and I went into Equinox on in Union Square, and I picked up the schedule, and there was a class there, and it said arrow box and arrow jump. So arrow box was 30 minutes, arrow jump was another 30 minutes. So I said, "Is this a jump rope class?" And they was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, sign me up." Now that gym at that time was about maybe $200 at the time. So y'all know
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had some money. So I actually joined the gym, and at that time I did not realize that I was like the freshman, like 200. Like I was just like, oh. So the class was taught by the former middleweight boxer Michael Olajide Jr. Shout out to Michael Olajide, and he basically taught a class, and it's called Arrow Box Arrow Jump. And to this day, actually has his own gym and everything. And in his class, I basically learned the technicalities of jumping. So I learned
Mm-hmm.
how to breathe, how to size a rope, how to jump correctly, different things like that. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that class. And then there was another boxer there, middleweight boxer. His name was Stephen Johnson, and he was also a middleweight boxer. And I never had the opportunity to take his classes, but he saw my passion. I was 19 years old at the time, 19 or 20. And he saw my passion for jumping, and he like taught me like several like tricks. So like the infamous 360 that I'm famous for, that was him. And he actually passed away in a boxing bout within that
Oh,
6 months time after meeting him. So I actually have a trick that's dedicated to him. So I credit Michael Olajide Jr. and Stephen Johnson for like developing my raw talent. And I just feel that if it wasn't for them too, my passion for jumping would have never been ignited. And like at that time, I wasn't into like eating right and push-ups and calisthenics and weightlifting. It was just like I cardio myself to death. And I had lost so much weight, like for real. Like I was like probably like 200 and went to 165. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I really didn't realize I was that big. So jump rope has just always been like from there, jump rope just remained a staple anytime in my workouts. So
hmm
that's like the history.
that's that's pretty cool. So like jump roping as a kid, I remember like myself, you know, in the neighborhood. I mean, we're not like quite like New York, but you know,
Right.
I remember the girls being out double dutching and doing all that.
Mhm.
And, you know, as guys, we never really got into it so much. Um, so was it something that you felt, I mean, how do you feel like there's a barrier to entry for guys? Because I know guys do it now, right? So you've got coaches, the coaches that you have were guys.
Right. I
So
actually believe. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead. Okay.
I believe that guys has been a part of the sport for a long time, but it's been in a certain world. It wasn't like specific in the fitness world. So like if you even go back to before I was born, there was like the Muhammad Ali's and Jack Johnsons and all about they were using it. So
Mm-hmm.
it was there, but it may have not been encouraged. So like there's an organization called World Jump Rope, and they're basically the people that you'll see flipping and tumbling and jumping real fast and doing all these like crazy phenomenal tricks. And a lot of these people have been doing it since they was a kid. Like Nick Woodard, he's probably in his 30s. And I know that he's been doing it since I'm like what 39. So I know that he's been training, jump rope since he was a kid. But it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't something that was like mainstream, like
Right.
basically certain entities. So like you saw it in in your athletes, or you saw it in jump rope competitions, but it was
Right.
like never kind of mainstream.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for myself, like I just do basic, you know, basic skipping. I mean, I can't even do a double under, and you know, I guess a part of that might have to do with the type of rope I'm using as well. But um,
No.
I, or I'm just unskilled. But thanks for pointing that out. That I'm just not skilled with the rope at all. Um,
It's
but
not the rope. It's not the rope. It's the skill.
it's
Once you
not
have
the
the
rope.
skill,
It's me.
no. Once you have the skill, you can use any rope, and yeah, you can use basically any rope. It's just a matter of preference.
Right. Okay.
So,
Okay. So, you know, I actually didn't realize how sophisticated the jump rope community or industry actually is until I started talking to Sunny about it. And so, if you could explain to people like a little bit more about ropes in general, like what are people like if I was just starting out and I wanted to get into jumping rope, where would what would I begin with? What?
well, first of all, like I would start, like just kind of backpedaling just a little bit about the jump rope community. Like I've been online promoting jump rope since like 2011.
Hmm.
So since before Instagram had video, since before Facebook had video, I was online, jumping. Even Vine, I remember Vine came out before Instagram even had video. I used to
Hmm.
like post videos there. I've had my YouTube channel since forever, and I think that when I started on Instagram, there were people jumping, but like what I did is I kind of bridged the gap between athletes or between like the like world jump rope community,
Hmm.
and because of my style of jumping, I made it accessible to your average person or like your average fitness person.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm just kind of relatable to everybody. So I'm relatable to like world jump rope in some aspects. I'm relatable to fitness enthusiasts, but just like the mainstream, like they kind of see how much fun I'm having. I'm like, and then coupled with the benefits, they're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, wow. So if you actually want to start jumping, I would just basically say to do something like basic jumps.
Mm-hmm.
And also too, it depends on your goals and like
Right.
what are you jumping for? Like, is it for fitness specifically, or are you trying to learn how to become fancy, or you just want like to train your endurance, your stamina? So jump rope has so many different benefits that when it does come to jumping, like your like the outcome depends on what your goal is.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, just like anything. I mean, for example, I saw your post the other day where you were given advice saying, I think it was 10 minutes of jumping
Is
total.
equivalent to a 30-minute jog on a treadmill at 6.5 miles an hour.
Right. That's specific.
Yep.
But so me not having any real knowledge of that, when you broke it down and you broke down the timing and stuff like that, um, I started thinking about when I did actually have jump roping in my program for myself. Um, I would do something like that, 45 seconds on, see if I can get, about 100, skips in, challenge myself to try to maintain that, and then, have a time, equal time off, and just kind of make it into a hit session, to
Right.
some degree. So I thought that was really cool to see you breaking it down like that for an average person.
Right. So yeah. So what I tell people, because a lot of people, I'll put 10 minutes of jump rope is equivalent to a 30-minute jog on a treadmill at 6.5 miles an hour, and a lot of people usually say, "Well, do I have to jump the whole 10 minutes straight?" And I'm like, "No, not at all." So I usually tell people to break it down into hundreds. So 100 jumps, rest 30 seconds. 100 jumps, rest 30 seconds. Do that about 10 times, and you have a 30, and you may have like a 10-minute workout.
Right. Yeah, that's
So.
pretty cool. Um, so let me just ask you,
Mhm.
um, jump rope is not the only thing that you do, right? Like it's not your
Oh
full-time job, right? So
no. No.
what so what do you do for a living outside of jump rope?
For a living, I work as a mental health case manager. So I've been doing this kind of work for the last 19 years.
Okay.
So
And
like social work.
so you bring do you is there any crossover between your jump rope stuff and that community, or is you keep, that life pretty separate?
Um, I like the jump rope is separate from that, but in addition to me jump roping, I'm a very motivational person. So, like in addition to me working as a case manager, I'm a mom of three small children. I'm a wife. I hold two full-time jobs, and I teach jump rope classes. So I think that the social work it bridges the motivational piece and the work piece
Hmm.
because in addition to working with people that are facing like difficult situations, I myself in my own personal life have faced difficult situations, which helps the personal branding of motivation better.
Hmm. And Make It Fun NYC, like, is that how can you explain a little bit to everybody like what that's all about? Like, from is it
Sure.
organization? Is it, what is it all composed of?
So basically, Make It Fun NYC, I make jump rope and exercise as a whole more fun and exciting for anyone looking to live a healthy and active lifestyle. So back and like I gave you the history of how I came to be with jump rope, and just to explain like my jump rope beginnings, I consider myself to be like a boxer jumper. So if you kind of look at what boxers doing, that's what I'm doing. I'm not like into all of the tumbles and flips and things like that. I consider myself a boxing jumper. Back in 2012, I love music, so working out to cardio is always based on my music. So like if you see me on a treadmill, I'm never like running or walking like normal people. I'm like dancing and spinning around and doing salsa, and people think I'm really crazy. So shout out to 24 Hour Fitness, Fordham Road, that actually they gave me that freedom to like be me, because I like went to like other gyms and they'll be like, you singing too loud, or please stop before I fall off the treadmill. And thank goodness I never have. But they actually gave me the freedom to be me. So even with the jump roping. So in 2012, I was actually at a fitness event and I was jumping. I was doing like one of my tricks, and I was actually doing it to the music. It was like, dun, 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 dun. So then I watched the video after and I was like, yo, that's dope. That's dope. So in 2012 is when I started training myself to jump to music. So I was taking my boxer style of jumping and putting it to music, which is very difficult. And when you see that, it's my personality. So like I'm laughing, I'm singing, and I'm sure watching my videos, you've seen that, especially like in my freestyle. I'm like laughing, I'm like singing, I'm talking, and whatever else I'm doing because I'm just having fun. So developed that in 2014. I received like a Facebook inbox from Dr. Oz people, and they were like, "Hey, we're doing a segment about treadmill dancing, and we would like to feature your video," which they saw on YouTube. It was like a salsa video, and I was like, "Sure." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, you're in New York City. Do you want to come in?" I said, "Sure, yeah, sure." So um, like my friend, she was like, "Hey, look, we need to put together a website like before you go on that show." And I'm just like, "Well, I need a name." So we're like, I'm like, I don't know what to name it. So Shakira Moran, shout out to you. And she was like, "Make It Fun NYC." And I'm like, you know what? That actually makes sense. And it's funny because like the day that I went on Dr. Oz, I met him for like 2 seconds and we didn't even talk. He just wanted to see like what I could do and if he could actually do it. So, he did his practice out on the treadmill. I went back to the dressing room, whatever, came back down. And this is literally how he introduced me. He said, Bernadette is here. Wait, what did he say? He said, Bernadette is here to show us how to make our workout fun. I was like, yes, confirmation. So he
Make it
confirmed
fun.
the name of Make It Fun. And it's funny because, excuse me, when people watch my videos, that's all they think about. And that's what draws people in. It's just like, yo, that looked fun. I mean, it's hard. It's not, I mean, it's really hard, but I make it look so fun that people are like drawn in and they're just like, oh my gosh, like this is something I want to do or try, or I didn't know you could do so many things. And it's like relatable to like the average fitness person.
Right.
So that's where the Make It Fun came from.
That's great to know that. I mean, because I mean, it does look fun. I mean, honestly, like I said, that's what drew me to your page and kept me on your page is that it looked fun. You look like you're having fun. And like you said, the music, when I see you move into the music, I was like, that's incredible. Like every time, I think it's one song, you're doing something to an Outkast song or it's Andre 3000 song.
On the steps, the rises, right?
You're jump roping, and I just noticed that one Andre 3000 song from the Love Below album, and I'm just like looking at you move to it, and I'm just like, that is just dope. And what I also like is that you aren't afraid to mess up and show people that your rope gets tangled. I don't know, and like sometimes I felt like it's intentional. I was like, well, she might have intentionally done that to just change direction because it's seamless, right? Like I'm like, you laugh and you keep going.
Yeah, and it's funny because it looks like a dance, so people just assume, okay, whatever. And even if I do mess up, I always tell people, even when I teach my class, if you mess up, keep going, because sometimes there's a way to like catch yourself and just keep going, and most people wouldn't even catch it. They wouldn't even know.
Right.
So like I always tell people, there are no mistakes in jump rope. That's actually how like I make up like a lot of like I do like the same things over and over and over again, but depending on the music, I mix it up different, or a double under may sound like this in this song, but in that song it may sound totally different. So that's just like, oh, it's a creative way for me to come up with new combinations, not just
How,
thinking on my feet.
how do you how do you see yourself as like what do you think's been the biggest impact of Make It Fun NYC?
Um, I think the biggest impact is showing people that they can work out and have fun. It doesn't have to be like a boring chore. And like with jump rope, they can take it anywhere, anytime, any place. Because I post videos everywhere. Like I'm at parties of um, jump in a park. I've jumped like so many different kind of places. And I think the biggest impact is just showing people that they can get a kick-ass workout in a little bit of time and have fun with a simple tool.
Right, 'cause I think you were working out one day with your you're taking your kids to the park and you're like, let me get these jump ropes let me get this jump rope in while the kids are
It was
playing.
hard, but I managed to get something done.
Now, I want to like change directions a little bit and talk about
Hmm.
something that I think is important because, um, part of why I do this show is not only to highlight people doing various things, but to also talk about issues that face our community, whether it be Black community, women, LGBTQ, just a whole diversity of people, and I try to get diverse inputs from people. So um, one of the things I wanted to ask you is how is the demographic of, or what is the demographic that you attract as far as people who want to do jump rope with you, and then um, how do you think that has played a role in like making any difference, if there has been any difference?
Um, well, I know like I'm working like kind of, it's like two different things going on, but I work to attract busy working moms that's trying to, stay fit physically, mentally, and emotionally. As far as jumping rope, I I think that I attract like general fitness people. So really not people that are like into the jumping rope or people that are necessarily into fitness, but I
Mm,
think I like cover a wide range of people. People that may not be like fitness junkies,
hmm
but just looking for something to get into. I noticed that I attract a lot of women, a lot of African American women that have some size on them.
hmm
Um, Women that are like in their like late 30s. These are kind of like the kind of people that I see actually coming across my classes, the people that are getting my programs and things like that. And then I have like you know I mean, like, I think there's like a wide range of people that follow me for their specific reasons, but like in my classes and like even on my Make It Fun page, I noticed like I get like a lot of older women
hmm
that's like looking to get into fitness, or people that don't even like going to a gym, that just want to do something.
Right. Um, so you said you attract um, you know s- women that have a little bit of size on them. Like my biggest question is like in the fitness industry, like there's
Hmm.
a stereotype, right, of what you should look like,
Right.
to be a trainer or to train somebody, or what you should look like as a quote unquote healthy person, or whatnot. And usually that kind of veers towards like an extreme cover, photo, muscle and fitness type thing. Um, how do you think that, like, you clearly don't fit the stereotypic, like,
Right.
magazine look.
We
How do you
don't.
think how do you think that plays a role in like changing not just the culture of fitness, but like, people's understanding and people's like perspectives?
I think that fitness, it's not a matter of look, and I think that in the fitness world, the biggest thing that I guess I show people is that you can still be fit in whatever size that you're in and whatever lifestyle that you live, because everybody don't have the same time to spend like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours in the gym. Everybody don't have, and especially as a busy working mom, I don't have that luxury of fitting like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in the gym. I remember there's a time when I used to. I don't have that luxury of maybe doing that perfect meal prep every Sunday. Like I work 2 full-time jobs. I'm tired. And it's just a lot of luxuries that I may not have that the typical fitness person may have. And it's not to say that I'm making an excuse, like I'm just who I am. But what I will say is that fitness is not determined by your exterior. It's really your interior, because your most fittest person could pick up a jump rope and in 30 seconds, they will be winded. And I've seen it before.
Right.
So like, I mean, I've been on Instagram for a long time. So I would say since 2011, I've been big, I've been small, I've been big. Like, I've kind of went through the changes, but what's remained constant is that my inner self, no matter the outside, is healthy. Right. Like I said, give a fit person a jump rope, 30 seconds. With the jump rope, really. Because let me tell you, jump rope, one of the biggest benefits is that it's great for your stamina, it's great for your conditioning. And this is why your most elite athletes, such as boxers, use it. Because right. I've actually boxed before. I trained to box in about 2015-ish or so. And getting in that ring for 3 minutes and moving your arms, moving your legs, trying to think at the same time, trying to breathe, right. That takes a lot. So that's why your boxers, your MMA, excuse me, the jump rope is glorified, because right. It really tests your stamina and your conditioning. And a person like me, if I was not healthy on the inside, I could not sit there and do almost every trick I know for like a minute or 2 minutes time. And this is not even talking like basic jump rope. This is like turning, twisting, twirling, right. Burpees, like whatever I'm doing. So it's, and even like in my jump rope classes, I have women that say, wow, you're such an inspiration to me. It's so good to know that women that look like me can actually do all that you do. So, it's just a matter of your internal.
Right. I think
eventually eventually the external will follow, but in the meantime, like, it's no stress. You got to accept yourself. And, right. Just doing all that I've accomplished so far at my size, it speaks volumes. Like, being on Dr. Oz, I was big. Doing the jump rope competition, I was big. Jumping on the Advil commercial on national TV, I was big. So it just goes to show you that, if certain people can respect it, then everybody needs to respect it. Right. And just, showing people that you just got to live your life, and you have to fit fitness in your life however you can and in whatever way possible, and that you should just go out there and do it.
Right.
And I like to remain on the forefront. And this is why I never hide from social media. Like, if I'm going through something and I gain weight, I never shy away from it, because it's just a motivation to because a lot of people I've seen through the years, they'll come on, they'll be big, they'll lose the weight, and then they disappear for like a year or two, because all of a sudden they fell off and they've been ashamed. They don't want to come show you what they look like, but because they're afraid of what the people are going to say. And I've had my fair share of people like say whatever they need to say, but for me, it doesn't really bother me anymore. Number one, because I know that I'm healthy internally, and number two, if I gave that same person a jump rope, they'll be winded and out for the count in 30 seconds.
Jokes on them.
For real.
Jokes on them. I mean, that's definitely inspiring. I think you know, being able to show other people that they too can do something, you know, being relatable, like is something that's like so important. And with the amount of, you know, shaming of people in general, but then like particularly shaming of women for, um, you know, their shape and whatnot. I think, especially in fitness, it's just it's important for people to really see, take a step back and see like people like yourself and others out there, I'm sure, who are setting a huge example and letting like the world know, like, hey, my athleticism is way better than yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, so another question. Um,
Mm-hmm.
well, we already said what are the benefits of training with the rope, but
Yeah.
the other day you posted something on this similar topic with regarding Beyonce, and I don't remember exact quote, but it was a picture of Beyonce. And can you like share that or share that whole, you know,
Yes.
thing with the viewers?
So basically, there were like for like the last couple of weeks, there have been rumors that Beyonce was pregnant, and people were like showing pictures or videos of her like that actually made it look like that she was pregnant. So she recently did an interview in a magazine, and she was basically saying that she accepts her fupa, right? Which is, I believe, like women that had C sections. It's like the stomach that overlaps the pelvic area, and she had on shorts and you could actually see it, and it would look like maybe a 1 to 2 month old pregnant baby bump. And she was just saying that she right now she's accepting it, she's accepting her body. Her legs got bigger and this got bigger and that got bigger, but she's just going to accept her body and keep it moving. And that
Hmm.
when she's ready to get her six pack, she'll work her ass off. So basically she was just showing herself out there as a celebrity. I'm going to put this out there. And
Hmm.
it's funny because I know you follow both of my Instagram pages. So one is primarily fitness and jump rope, the other is dedicated towards busy working moms trying to be fit physically, mentally, emotionally. And the reason why I targeted that audience specifically was like busy working moms is because we live. So, and we live, and I noticed that a lot of women are comparing themselves to women such as Beyonce or Body by Jay or all these women that have these resources that a normal everyday mom don't have. So a
Right.
lot of these people, number one, are celebrities. Number two, they get paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to look a certain kind of way. Number three, they can hire maids, they can hire nannies, they can hire personal trainers to come to their house. They don't even got to go to the gym. They can hire cooks. They can basically
Right.
have everything that they need at their disposal. Whereas on like a busy working mom that actually have to do, most times we're up at like maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. We got to get kids together, breakfast, get them dressed, get ourselves together, get dressed, go, and maybe do some like light house cleaning or whatever the case we want to do. Then leave the house to go to work, and it ain't even 9 o'clock yet. So, and then we have to go through our day, work, 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 get off of work at 5 o'clock, go home. Most of the time I come home, I like sit in the car for like 10, 15 minutes just to, like, okay, it's time to go in the house. Like go in the house, gotta cook, gotta deal with the kids. They excited to see you because it's been a long day. They went to school, I went to work. Then you got the spouse. It's just so much that you have to deal with that a regular, celebrity don't have to deal with that lifestyle on a daily basis. And I've seen it. A lot of moms, there are phenomenal examples of moms that had children and lost the weight, but there seems to be so much social media pressure on moms to just you like have a baby and then 6 weeks later be like snatched to the gods. And then they don't think after you have a baby, like that's mental. Like you going through, especially if it's a first time mom. First of all, you just went through this like long physical 9 month thing of carrying the child.
Right.
Then you gave birth to the child. then you're tired as I don't know what, because you got to take care of the child day in, day in and day out. And people always tell you, oh, it's just the night. No, it's 24 hours, because, you know, and then you got to try to do this. You don't have any energy. Like mentally, you're just like, you know, if this baby don't shut up, I'm gonna throw it out the window. Like these are real. No, these are like real life things that really happens if a mom really want to be real. And instead of like looking at their current situation as a mom that just went through this like major physical, mental, emotional transformation, they're like comparing themselves to like women that's like, yeah, whatever, just do it. There's no excuse. You have what? Like, do you see what I just did? Like, really? There's no excuse? What? And
I just manufactured a
that,
human being.
yeah, like that bothered me so much. And you wouldn't believe like the women that email me on a daily basis or are in my inbox, like thanking me for this information, because they are feeling bad. Like they're like, okay, if such can do it, I can do it too. Yes, you can do it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but you got to realize you're a human too. And, you know, I love the fact that Beyonce did do this, because she's showing this is my humanity. I'm a human too. And you know, and it's funny because now since she's done that, I'm seeing people that were like pro, like you need to lose weight now. Now they're like, yeah, we just gonna accept our food, but I'm just like, what? This is the message. This is the message that I've actually been preaching for a long time, and I got a lot of backlash. Oh, you're just making excuses. Da 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 da. But it's interesting. But I'm happy that she did do that.
Right.
As a
Yeah.
celebrity.
That's, I mean, yeah, that's definitely important. Let's see, we had a comment by someone here. She says, oh yeah, Bernadette has definitely helped me with that mindset. I was so hard
Hey.
on myself because I wasn't losing my baby weight. So there you go. We got testimonials right there in the
Yes.
right there in the comments. Um,
Yes,
yeah, so
okay.
that's, I mean, that's really awesome to you know, that you're having this impact and this reach. And you know, I think it's important. Hopefully this video, you know, and this opportunity to chat will, you know, lead more people, um, you know, in your direction who need, you know, this sort of support system and this sort of like person to look up to, um, you know, and to look towards for realness. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, you scroll through Instagram and there's so much non-realness or fakeness or whatever you want to call it, but there's just a lot of stuff out there that, you know, I think is not being authentic. And
Right,
you know, it's authenticity shines through, you
right.
know.
And that's what I try to put on. Well, it's not that I'm putting on. Yeah, I'm actually being myself. Yeah, I'm being myself. Because
Yeah,
people need it. Like, people are literally out here. Like, people are dying out here. They're literally dying, you know, and they just need, I'm that lifeline, you know, like, I'm that lifeline.
that's good to hear. There needs to be more people like yourself out there, um, putting that message out. Well, I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank
If
you.
you could let everyone know where they can find you on social media, YouTube, all of that, that would be great.
Okay. First of all, I have a website, www.makeitfunnyc.com. That's kind of where you'll find everything. I'm on Instagram, since we're mainly talking about Jumprope, at MakeItFunNYC. Twitter, at MakeItFunNYC. YouTube, at BERN April 20, Burn April 20. Tumblr, probably at somewhere, Make It Fun NYC. I'm everywhere. I'm basically everywhere, but the main channels, definitely Facebook at Make It Fun NYC, you know, Instagram, YouTube, website, yeah. And if you
Cool.
like Google my name, Bernadette Henry, you'll basically see, you know, a lot of different things online as well. So
And you have jump ropes too, right?
yes, I do. Well, I don't have my own jump ropes,
Okay.
but I am an affiliate for a company, Cross Rope. So
Oh,
you get your ropes through me. I, you know, have a nice link and everything. So.
help Bernadette out. Get your links through her. She said she
Yeah.
got 3 kids, y'all. So
Yes.
help Bernadette out.
And I'm
She's
trying to
helping
quit
you
one of my
out.
full-time jobs. I have to. I can't. I'm tired. People don't understand the struggle. It's real. Like, whoo.
It is real. It is real. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining tonight, and
Thank
hopefully,
you.
hopefully, some more people will gain inspiration and listen to this and connect with you. Really happy to have had a chance to talk to you, and hopefully next time I'm in New York, we can link up.
Yes, definitely,
'Cause
definitely.
I'll be that dude who after 30 seconds is like,
Nah. You gonna learn your double under, and within a minute's time, watch. You got this.
all right, all right. All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good night. Thank you so
Take
much.
take care.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye.